On today's episode of Rex Hunt's Fishing Adventures, we're talking border barrels. We had some more beers, absolutely delicious. Hutto, what do we have?
So we had a coffee versus tea battle, the age-old battle. The three beers we had today, we had a sour, a hazy IPA, and a bloody porter.
Yeah, very good.
And there was some really unique beers. So unique that all three of us ended up with different favourites, and for many, many different reasons.
And I bet you can guess what everyone's favourite was. Wouldn't be hard.
Yibbida yibbida. Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. Border Barrels back with another episode here in the not so good shed. It's a ripper day. I've pulled out the I pulled out the trackies for some reason, which I haven't worn for a while. But I think I've made
Were you anticipating some running on this week's pod?
I'm not too sure. I don't know. But I'm looking like a bit of a bag of shit.
You're doing a cut for something.
Yeah, not too sure. But it should have been. It's shorts weather is basically what I'm saying. But yeah, Gracie saw a snake the other day, so. That was pretty crazy. It's snake weather.
Nearly walked the dogs directly on top of it. Then thought, oh no, that's okay. It's not moving. It's completely dead.
Yeah.
Kept walking. Came back 15 minutes later. It was gone.
Yeah, right. I've noticed magpies.
It was snatched up by an eagle.
Oh, I've noticed magpies have started. I did see them start a little bit early this year. So
that's how you know it's going to be a hot summer.
Yes,
because if the magpies are swooping on the first day of bloody spring.
That's so true.
Goodness.
I feel very lucky because walking around the neighbourhood, there's a bunch of magpies, but they all know me.
Oh, you've gained their trust.
Yeah, because in previous years, I'm like, "G'day, mate. How are you? Yep, no worries."
Carrying a big mince in his
pocket. Mince man.
And then there's other people getting swooped and that sort of thing. So that's been my theory. Anyway, I was watching a YouTube video the other day. Turns out they have a memory for about 100 faces and they know who live in the neighbourhood. Yeah.
And dogs' faces, because I've seen them go after certain dogs but not other dogs.
Yeah, no, they couldn't care about our old coot. But the Indian minor bird, you know the minor bird, the real loud?
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Hang on. What noise does it make?
Oh, no, I can't quite do it, but there's some really loud bird. It was swooping. I'm like, I don't reckon you guys swooped.
I didn't know about plovers.
I reckon all birds swoop.
Yeah, they probably
that's like a defensive mechanism.
Yeah, but yeah,
they're trying to tell you secrets, but we can't hear them. It's like we're like dog whistle.
Yes.
I actually was talking about this this morning. It's like, do you ever walk past animals that are just like doing their thing and you just wish you could communicate with them to be like, I'm all good. You do your thing, I'll do my thing. Like, don't worry, we're all good here. Like you see like a little animal off to the side and it's like, you can do your thing. We're coexisting here. Like I've walked down a laneway and there's a bird and it's like running away from me.
Have you tried it?
Like, it's all right, dude. You come here, we'll interchange and you can stay where you are.
Well, I would advocate for that because I do that with all the animals that have a good chat to them and I get a bit offended when they duck off because they don't trust me.
You need to speak to them like a human because I think they'd be offended if you try and do their thing.
Yeah.
Like you see a magpie and you start talking like this.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know the language well enough.
Oh.
I might say something wrong.
Yeah, you don't want to offend
Actually,
them.
snakes are a good example of the minding their own business because snakes are actually great at minding their own business. Is occasionally, if you stand on one, it's like, and when it nips you, it's like a dog letting you know.
Nips you.
But, it nips you, but it's like, oh, by the way, my venom might kill you.
Yeah, sorry.
It's a misunderstanding. So I reckon snakes are like the really good example of like passing a trucker on like a road and it's just like, I'll give you a space and you give each other a thumbs up.
Yeah, and they do that.
Dangerous,
and
but
they do
also polite.
the blinker thing that I don't understand on the freeway. What does that mean?
Speed camera ahead.
Oh, it's all like tick, tick, look, they're overtaking.
Like if you're overtaking a truck, they'll like flick their lights once you're clear to re-enter the lane.
Oh, okay.
That's one.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know when they like merge left, but then the right indicator goes on once they're in the lane or something. It might just be that they're flicking the indicator back off and flicking it down accidentally or something.
I don't know. Anyway.
I just reminded the Zach story reminded me of my family dog that used to want to play with all the blue tongues, but because he was a big husky, accidentally punctured their skin every time. And, accident.
Everything I love, I kill.
Accidental murder of blue tongues.
Oh, dear. Very good. Well, I've sort of forgot we're doing a podcast. Thought we're just having a bit of a chat, but we've got another beer showcase, and it is Hutto's turn this week.
It is. And it's our first... I think I stole Simo's idea with this one. It's our first international brewery, and it's one of our faves. It's Garage Project.
Oh, yes. There you go.
I'm
Very
happy to
good.
know I actually never looked at your computer, so I didn't know until you
thanks.
said international.
Oh, I was
Stole
looking
Simo's
straight.
idea.
I was looking straight at your computer. Didn't read it.
It's so funny. Like, I'm trying to make it so that I have less work to do after the pod. So I type up all this stuff, and then I get here and Zach, you're really the only one here that wants to be surprised. And every time I open my laptop, he's the first one that just goes, oh.
Gotta stop doing that.
Screens. Kids and their screens, eh?
Right. Well, yeah, so it's not just a normal Garage Project pod. It's actually a series, as I love series. And disappointingly, it's a series of 4, and I wasn't able to obtain the 4th in the series. So it's still only 3 beers, but it's their coffee versus tea series that they did. And without tasting any of them, the one I wasn't able to obtain on paper seemed like the best one, which was the Cafe Gaelic whiskey coffee infused foreign extra stout.
Jeez.
So that would have been a real good one. But I digress back to the first beer that we're going to have. It is going to be the Cafe Fizz Cascara, acai berry, vanilla, and lemon sour.
Okay. All right.
Sour weather too.
Here we go. When you mention it, it's like, oh, it's not a normal Garage Project pod. It's like, well, they don't really have too many like normal regular beers. Like they're always something cool.
Yeah.
Try something new. Hey?
So
Even the hazy days.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, cool. I've seen that online.
Yeah, that is cool.
So this is...
Is that on a t-shirt? That'd be cool.
Yeah, like they've got a t-shirt of all 4 caricatures. So this is part of the coffee range.
Cool. How have you chosen the...
Based on... I couldn't find the IBUs online, but it was like my guess at the IBUs. So I went sour, then a hazy, then a porter.
It's probably...
So it's not the right direction for percentages. This one's 6, the next one will be 7, the next one 5.6.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, cool. Let's sort of have a go.
We went a little bit similar last week. We went down the percentage at the end.
Yeah, it worked. But I think...
That wasn't even last week. That was some other time. But with a porter, finished with.
I think with it being darker, it tends to work. So that's good.
When you drink beers on pods, all the weeks blend into one.
Yes, well, that's true.
Yeah. This is their Garage Project, and this is our Garage Project.
Yes, it is. True. Not so good. Shed Garage Project. Nah, it doesn't have the same ring to it, does it? What's happening? Which one?
Whatever.
That's the biggest one. Give me the smallest one.
They're all the same.
Nah, that's the
one's
smallest
way
one.
Yeah, this one. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, all right, very good. Ooh, it does certainly smell sour.
So to get all the numbers out of the way for our scoring, $16 for a 6% 440 mil. All 3 were bought from our friends at the Lane Cellars.
Yep, very good.
On Olive Street in Albury. So, Cafe Fizz. It's coffee, but not as you know it. Cafe Fizz, fodder. Is it fodder? Foeder? Fodder? Fodder?
I mean, maybe, but what does it mean?
I don't... Oh, hang on. Well,
Fooder?
keep going.
Fodder? Sorry, I'll start again. It's coffee, but not as you know it. Cafe Fizz, fodder aged sour beer infused with vanilla bean, lemon zest, acai berries, and rich coffee cascara, the dried cherry-like fruit that surrounds the coffee bean.
Okay.
A deliciously bright, zesty, light pink sour with a lively cherry coffee top note. The perfect pick-me-up. Now, I don't know if I'm colorblind, but that's not pink.
No.
We're talking about the beer
it's
can.
Not. It's not.
Yeah.
And also, if you were thinking that you might employ Hudson to do your voiceover work or read any of your ads, just write into us here at Porter barrels and you'll sort it out.
Oh, I wouldn't.
No, you
Better
just had,
than me.
No, you had a tough one.
If I bloody did an audiobook, that'd get turned off instantly. It's like, I don't want to hear this dude's voice. I'm surprised people listen to our pod.
Fooder is it?
Fooder.
And in its simplest form is a large barrel.
Yeah. I also
our
know
podcast.
something that rhymes with fooder that is a large barrel, and it's cooter.
Hey, no, he's 31 kegs. He's doing all right. I weighed him the other day because I think you did suggest.
He is a chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, far out.
31 keg. Nah. Big Goldie. Now, that's sour. So, bit of info on Garage Project. Project. How would you guys?
I say project.
I say project.
I mean,
It's
you could say both.
dance and dance, I think.
Yeah, tomato. Potato. Garage Project was started by Pete Gillespie and Jos Ruffel, with help from Pete's brother Ian. So they wrote. I just copied and pasted it as we all do with our
that's okay.
research. So when we started out, we were tiny. Garage Project wasn't even micro brewing; it was truly nano brewing. But what we lacked in size, we more than made up for in agility and ability to experiment. When you're brewing on such a small scale, you can afford to take risks. That suited us. We wanted to try something new. A few years have passed and we've grown, but that same ethos still shapes how we do things at the garage. Jesus. Whether we're brewing 50 litres or several thousand, we're still here to take some risks, have a bit of fun, and try something new.
Hey?
Hey, that's it. That's
Try
what I
something
got about Garage Project. I've got heaps more, but we better space it out. Otherwise, the pod will go for 3 minutes.
Grazie, what did you reckon?
As per our rating system, this is going to be a bit of a range of scores. As an actual drink, I really, really, really like it.
Yeah, same.
I'm giving it a 4.25 on Untapped. It's absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
The only two per our rating system I've rated a bit lower was, I guess, the value. It is imported, to be fair. Would I pay $16?
It's not imported.
Oh, it's brewed over here.
Yeah, so they have their own website
Sydney?
now with their Melbourne, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was one of my points is when you buy Garage Project beers now, they're actually from down in Melbourne.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. They
still-
don't have a venue you can go to, but I think that cut a lot of costs for them.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
We got Koshi on the podcast.
Yeah. If they did have a venue, bloody hell, that'd be do that. I'll go.
It's a good spot in Albury they could open.
Yes, imagine that would make no sense, but we make.
We have a garage here. They
Yes,
can make a bit of a project out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the value. I mean, would I pay $16 for it again? Potentially not, but I'm really stoked to do it as a one time because the beer is so nice. The other is the as advertised. Are we meant to get coffee? Do you think in this? The way you mentioned it's what surrounds the bean. I'm wondering. I was expecting
Well, it's a different
coffee
flavour. Yeah, so the dried cherry-like fruit that surrounds the coffee bean is the coffee cascara.
Okay.
So,
So it's using something to do with coffee, but not saying here's a sour beer with a coffee flavour.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because
okay.
that's the thing about coffee as well, is that if you eat a coffee bean, it's not bitter. It's not what a coffee would taste like. The taste of coffee comes from the roasting of the beans.
Yep.
And how you roast it, whether it's dark, medium.
Oh, you're
light.
saying if you ate
So-
a coffee bean straight off the tree,
It's
it would
nothing
not,
like
Or out
Yes,
of the
yes.
monkey's
Yeah.
poo. Which
Yeah.
one is that?
yeah, the bloody
Cat poo?
the lemur looking bloke
Oh.
that eats them. Some sort of
Dali
lemur.
Lima?
No. Yeah, well,
Suck his tongue.
Yeah. Do you remember that story?
Google
No.
that if you have
Oh,
that context.
Bloody hell.
I think
Dalai Lama.
that'll be a bit of research in my spare time.
Yeah, no, it's weird. Super weird.
But yeah, so I don't think, I think it's not meant to be like traditional coffee flavour.
Yeah.
I'm glad we talked that out. As a result, I guess it wasn't really.
But I'm not getting a high.
Pink.
Yeah, the pink sour is interesting. And then they say cherry coffee top note, which I'm not getting much cherry. I definitely get the lemon
zest.
and the acai berry.
That's why it tastes so nice.
And then I don't know. I've never had the coffee cascara to know what it actually tastes like and whether it's spot on. So
I
whether it's
reckon I am getting a bit of coffee at the top end of town. But in response to Grazie, I think rated it the same for value because it's $16, but it's another one of those breweries where you're like, this is quality.
Yeah.
It's really
Like
nice.
Mountain
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but as just a straight up taste rating,
I like that.
awesome. And I love the weather we've got. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah. Oh,
I tell you what they don't mention. I think it goes without saying if you that Fuda sour. So it's from their Wild Workshop, which is one of their
that makes
ventures.
sense.
But I've got beer contains wild yeast,
That makes-
that has such a definitive taste. Wild
Yes.
yeast, like a regular sour from like a wild yeast sour. It's just a lot more. I don't know
Funky?
what. Yeah, it's
But
funky.
not in
like
that saison farmhouse style funky. Like it's a different
Yeah.
style
Yeah.
funky. Yeah.
No, that would add to the ad as advertised for me. I
Yeah.
reckon. Yeah, it does taste a little bit wild now that you say it.
I forgot to mention. So for all three beers that we're having today, the artist is Steve Gavan.
Yeah, good, Steve. Well
Gavan
in.
Project.
Well in.
Or
Steve.
Gavin, but it's Gavan for those out there. I think I wrote a little bit. Where did I write about Steve? I swear I did something about Steve.
Steve. Come
Maybe I
on.
didn't.
Something.
Come on, something about Steve.
Tell us anything about him.
Oh yeah, here. All artwork for these cans were done by Steve Gavin, a graphic designer and illustrator from Melbourne.
Yeah, cool.
So all these beers were done for Gabs this year. So yeah, we had one at Gabs Sime,
Yes.
but it was in like almost like a coffee slushy form.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was odd.
Again, I appreciate that they do those things for the festivals, but I just want to. I'm like, yeah, but what is it if it was a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm that guy. I'm the old guy.
So how do we feel about that one? Not bad. We got all our
yeah,
scores.
good.
Yeah,
in.
I actually really like it. Surprised me.
Nice little start for a
Yeah.
6% sour as well.
Yep. I thought it was quite for sours. We've spoken. They can be spoken about. They can be quite thin, and it is 6%. It's got a good body.
Yeah, it's got depth.
It's got depth.
And
It doesn't fall off too quick. It's nice.
it's got that like drying factor where you put it in your mouth and it's like as you swallow, it's extracting all the moisture from your cheeks.
Like a towel.
Yeah.
And takes it down as
Yeah.
well.
Nice
yeah.
towel.
And then you've got to
Absolutely.
like moisturize the inside of your cheeks.
We want to influence.
Moisturise.
Yeah, we want to influence the beer world a little bit. We need to come up with a new term that you can use to describe a beer on Untapped. So that dry feeling, maybe towely.
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 We start.
Like you-
forget to bring a towel.
Yeah, like you're biting into a big wet towel.
we maintain that we started pillowy.
Yeah.
And then probably not long after we converted the original format of the pod to exclusively beer pod, we were talking a lot about the pillowy nature of mountain culture. And one of their beers had pillowy in the description. And there's been a couple of things that I reckon we've started in the beer universe that have caught on. And they won't say that we started it.
Yeah,
but we
because they're
did.
scared.
They're scared.
They're scared.
They're
Right
worried
off of
about our
royalties.
influence.
Yeah, influence over beer media.
Exactly.
Beer media moguls. Sorry, I'll stop.
BMM.
That's a nice colour, that green.
Yeah. I wonder what it is on an RGB. Remember the last time I guessed an RGB and I was pretty much spot on?
Yes.
That was
Be a
pretty
nice
Yeah.
colour in a bathroom.
Yeah, mints.
great. In like
Sort of
there's
situation.
actually, speaking of local, there's that hotel out in Bright that's
Mm-hmm.
like is it like 70s or 80s themed? That fits that billing.
It does a little bit.
Anyway. back-
So, like with the RGB rating,
yes.
like that's a 28% green. Is that what you sort of? Is that sort of what you mean?
well, I think it's out of like 240. Actually,
oh, well,
I guess
whatever.
the
but
hex
it's
code.
But it's the number.
the RGB, it's like, the amount of red, the amount of green, the amount of blue.
yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
000 I think is white, and then I think it's like up to 240. It's like 240, 240, 240 would be black.
Yeah. Well, this is this colour.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway,
Port Adelaide Power.
Oh,
the Way of Tea, a green matcha hazy. Now I've never had a matcha tea.
No.
It's all the rage amongst the Instagram influencers.
yeah, the kids love
Is
it.
it?
Yes. So this one contains water, malt, hops, yeast, and matcha powder. The Way of Tea, extra smooth East Coast style IPA, dry hopped with Oregon Strata, Hallertau Blanc, Idaho 7, and high grade Japanese matcha green tea powder. Pineapple, delicate gooseberry, and lemongrass meld with sweet, mellow green grass notes. Your own tea ceremony in a can.
Okay, this might be the most excited I've been to try a beer on our podcast based on the blurb.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I'm
so many
intrigued, but
words
excited.
like Hallertau Blanc. Never heard of that hop.
Do you think when they put in the matcha powder,
Yeah.
and they're like, how much should we put in? It's like, I don't know, just matcha.
Matcha more.
Matcha more of it.
So
What do you
matcha
Google?
is apparently pulverized green tea leaves. So they're from the same family. I thought
Pulverized.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They don't necessarily have to be pulverized. They could be beaten to a pulp, I suppose. Well, not quite a
There's got a
dry.
bloke in there.
Yeah. Oh, yo.
It's like you
Uppercut
step
it.
on
You
the,
want some?
It's like you come on. It's like you step on the grapes
What's-
at
what's-
wineries and then they've got some.
Feed them.
Float 'em.
Remember every violent felon when they go to prison, it's like if you want to work your way back into society, you have to work for this like tea company.
We need you to make some matcha. Here's some green tea leaves. Sort us out.
Yeah, you need to pulverize
Pulverise.
this matcha.
So
it smells very fruity and delicious.
7%, so 2.4 standard drinks in this full 40ml can are $18. So we've jumped up to $2.
Yeah.
That's because of all the fisting that's gone into it.
Yeah.
beforehand. So, yeah.
Could you have not chosen anything else?
Yeah, well, pulverized. Yeah.
Error.
I could have.
Whoops a daisy. Hey, was a bloody good blurb. Enjoyed
Oops.
the blurb.
Yeah, the blurb was one of the best.
Sorry, you would have mentioned, but in saying that, what were the hops again?
I just needed some
Idaho
jokes.
7.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I'm also excited.
Idaho 7, Oregon Strata,
Okay.
and Hallertau Blanc.
Oh, that's right.
Can someone put a word on one of these cans that I actually understand and can read correctly?
Something white. I don't know what. Yeah.
Yeah, Blanc.
That one's tea. Oh, but I don't know if it's like the drink or
Tia.
dinner. Like
Yeah,
having dinner. Is it?
see, I don't get it.
Gooseberry. So wine-like qualities.
That was, for some
gooseberry
reason, I
and
guess that
grass.
with Blanc. That would have been my
same.
guess.
Yeah, fair
I don't
enough.
know why.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, have you had some?
Gee, you get the grassiness at the end.
Jeez, there's some grass.
Oh, this is interesting. This
Yeah.
is very interesting. Yeah, you do. You get pure grass.
And then a bitterness after, but it's a light bitterness.
Oh, that's weird.
There's definitely some pineapple in there.
Yeah, it must be at the start. It must be
Yeah.
the tea at
But
the
you know
end.
when you get pineapple in a beer and it feels like pineapple pulp, like the thickness of
Yeah, yeah,
pineapple?
it's different. It's a subtle
it's like
pineapple.
it's like a pineapple juice as opposed to,
And I don't know, again, I've not had gooseberry
Neither.
by itself.
Is gooseberry
so-
like a lychee?
Is gooseberry the one from Willy Wonka?
No, that's something more controversial.
Schnozberry.
Yeah.
Is there something more controversial? Is that what you said?
Look it up. Oh, there's a bit of controversy.
Is it?
Well, I think so.
In what, gooseberry?
No.
Willy Wonka.
Gooseberries taste like sour grapes, lemons, and green apples.
Oh, yeah, I get that. Green apple is definitely
Yeah,
something
yeah,
that...
yeah.
Schnozberry. Snozberries are dicks.
Yeah. See?
This is the first two sentences. So, Snozberry, the filthiest joke ever hidden in a movie. Snozberries are dicks. Willy Wonka made those kids lick dick-flavoured wallpaper.
See, that was the controversy. So,
That's hilarious.
yeah, there you go.
Well,
Classic Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka made those kids lick dick-flavoured
Don't
real
get
Willy Wonka, isn't he? oh, okay. Now even the name even makes sense.
Yeah,
Don't-
Willy.
Don't get caught in the rain, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness me. All right. There you go.
So it makes that
now
gif
you know.
look a little, or the meme, a bit more frightening now.
Well, I think that's the that's the thing. Yeah. Anyway,
It makes it snozberries taste like real snozberries.
so I'll,
Makes the dicks taste like real dicks.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Back to the beer. This is delicious.
It is really good.
is-
It's not something I'd have normally, though.
No, it is different. But I'll tell you what. If I was out to make that beer, it would not taste like this. It would be awful. The beer I would taste like this
Yeah.
is like it's a really
You
really
need to be in
nice.
the industry for years before you try this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is
absolutely.
like when Gracie asks how much matcha do you know to put in. This is like you just know beer making, so you're
Yeah.
like, oh, more matcha,
Yeah.
matcha more.
Much, I'm already.
It's quite drop towely as well. Do you get that sensation from this beer as well?
I don't know about
less
towel.
so.
Oh, okay.
This is almost like opposite, where someone's wringing a towel into my mouth. It's wetting the mouth.
Wetting.
What do they call the the thickness of carpet, the pile.
Yeah,
is that
pile.
what it is? Yeah, that could be a piley. I don't know.
Piley beer. Anyway, so a bit more info on the three I mentioned before: Pete, Joss, and Ian. So they wrote each other's bios.
Cute.
On their website, which is pretty cool.
We should do that.
We should do that. Yeah, that'd be very funny. Because it'd be interesting to see which way people go, which direction they go in their bio.
Tries hard, seems nice.
4 stars.
So Pete Gillespie is the brewer. After decades of experience working in breweries across the UK and Australia, Pete decided it was time to move on from his then position at the Malt Shovel, fulfill the dream of every brewer, and establish his very own brewery. Now, there was more information, but I've kind of weeded out the key points.
Yeah.
Joss. I'm pronouncing it as though he's Max Verstappen's father because it's the only other Joss that I know.
And Joss
Fair
Butler.
enough.
Oh, Joss Butler too. See, that's so... Yeah, don't worry.
You know more cricketers than you realised.
He's not a brewer. But his unshakable passion for beer, for thinking outside the box and asking, is there a better way... Oh, fuck. What's that say?
A better, more creative way of doing things.
Yeah, sorry. The there and the is the wrong way around. Let me restart.
All right, guys.
With it correct.
It's going to go again. Get ready.
Can you do the reverse noise? You're good at it. He's not a brewer, but his unshakable passion for beer, for thinking outside the box, and asking if there is a better, more creative way of doing things makes him every bit as important to the project as the guy who mashes in the morning.
Hey.
It was a monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
It'd suck if he actually was a brewer and the first sentence of someone
He's
else.
not a brewer.
Yeah, because considering they wrote each other's, he's like, he's not a brewer.
He's not a real brewer.
He reckons he is.
Oh, I hate this guy. Ian Gillespie. Ian is many things to the project. There was Ian, who brought me back to New Zealand after being away for almost 2 decades. It was Ian who got Joss and me talking about the idea of a brewery in Wellington, and it's Ian who is the glue that holds things together. We were also squatting in his garage in the beginning. Nice little tidbit. I wonder if that's where Garage Project came from.
Yeah, probably.
The project of brewing in Ian Gillespie's garage.
Yeah, that's cool.
In Wellington.
I'll tell you what, there's not many of these stories that start like, yeah, we lived in the penthouse suite and then we just started brewing beer. That's I like it. That's cool. Yeah. What do we reckon?
Yeah. Again, a nice little range again of scores. I've given it a 3.5 on Untapped. I don't dislike it at all. I mean, I'm saying that like it's a bad score. It's not.
Above average.
It wasn't as... I didn't enjoy it as much as the sour, but I was so intrigued by it and it's still enjoyable. It's probably just the grassiness and I guess it's as advertised, a lot stronger than the first beer, I thought. But maybe that we sort of said that pineapple without it being the thickness of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that. If
Yeah, I know what you
that
mean.
was in there, but that's probably my palate.
You can't have
being a bit
everything,
basic
yes.
bitch, you know?
Yeah. So abrupt when you say basic bitch.
Yeah, it's always basic, bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
Such aggression.
it's like basic, comma, bitch.
Yeah.
Ah.
You're basic, bitch. Not you're a basic bitch.
Anyway.
It's a
I'll
bitch.
remember that.
So 4 locations, Garage Project, unfortunately all in New Zealand.
So
Unfortunately
far.
for us, but fortunately for us, because going to New Zealand is awesome.
Yes.
So there's the RO Cellar Door in Wellington, a bottle shop and tasting room with 8 taps. There's the RO Tap Room in Wellington, just down the road. Garage Project's very own bar, 18 taps and 2 cask lines.
Yeah, cool.
There's the Kingsland Cellar Door in Auckland,
There's a base behind it.
a tap room with 13 beer taps and a function space called the Back Room.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
bet you can guess where that is.
Hey?
Right up front.
Wild Workshop in Wellington. So this is where all the weird and wonderful beers are brewed. This one actually offers tours at $35 a person.
Cool.
Is that sarcastic?
No, I'm excited.
There was a bit of...
I'd like to go.
Cool.
Oh,
I'd
cool.
love to
Whatever,
have a
man.
Sweet,
Wild
man.
Workshop in Wellington.
Oh. No, that's cool. One thing I have with breweries that have multiple locations, I want to know what the first one, the main one. Is there a main one? I never know.
Well,
Because if I want to go, I want to go to the main one.
I think the RO tap room in Wellington is...
Because it's on RO Street.
Yes, it's closest to the brewery.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's... Maybe that's the first one.
Yep. I might ask him.
Cannot confirm.
Cannot confirm nor deny.
You guys look like you're ready for another beer.
Yeah.
Zach, of course, is because he had about 3 mil in there.
Yeah. Oh, but just enough to get a really good idea. But there's really awesome, unique first two beers. So
Unique.
I'm very, very interested in the third one.
The third beer.
Yep. Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of the bag.
Now watch this drive. Rosie Lee, a milk and 3 sugars English breakfast porter.
Right. I
So
also...
this is also a tea
Yep.
base one, as was the way of tea, obviously.
More of a kitchen theme colour on this one as opposed to the bathroom of the...
Kitchen theme.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
So this one, 5.6% ABV in a 440ml can, comes to 1.9 standard drinks. Crow's a big fan, apparently,
I
as
hope
it
that
flies
came through.
over. It was $15 dues.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that is a late 70s kitchen.
Yeah.
That is, for sure. Laminate.
I'll pour it before I read the blurb,
Yeah,
actually.
very good. One thing I'll say as well, I've enjoyed how... So if I was doing a sour, it would probably be tea. If I was doing a hazy, it would probably be coffee. And if I was doing a porter, it would probably be coffee. So I enjoyed that they sort of swapped those around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually never had a tea IPA. I've never enjoyed.
No.
I've had a
Oh, have
couple.
you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. I've never had one. Well, I just had one.
Yeah, there was one. I reckon Pirate Life did one at one point.
Not sure.
Then there was the Earl Grey creme brulee. That
Oh,
wasn't
yes.
necessarily
No,
an IPA, but
What was
Oh, this
an ale. I think this is an,
Yeah.
yeah.
This smells interesting.
it? Yeah. All right. Blurby Blurberson. Fancy a cuppa? London-style porter brewed with a blend of crystal, chocolate, and biscuit malts, sweetened with milk sugar and infused with teetotal special blend English breakfast tea. Robust floral, tannic character, mellowed with milk and sugar sweetness and rich toffee caramel back notes. Put the kettle on.
Yeah, that's good. Yep. It's sort of smoky as well. Does it say anything about smoke?
Nah,
No smoke.
but is that a porter thing?
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's like a roastiness or an actual.
It's
smoke?
probably the malts, the crystal malt. Let's have a look here. I kind of like the kitchen theme. I kind of like that. I'm going to rate that a little bit higher. Very good.
I've enjoyed all of them. I've given them all the same score for.
Oh, that's
can
a
art.
I would say that this is probably a little bit thin, but porters for the ABV and the fact that it's a porter, that does make sense. I just like big thick boys when they're this colour.
Breakfast tea is very obvious, which is really cool.
Yeah, and if I was going to do like English breakfast is the best, I reckon.
It is the best tea.
It is the best tea if you're going for that black tea.
There's so much information in all these blurbs, but it's so succinct as well.
Yeah, it is.
It's a paragraph, but it's almost formatted in dot points, so it's very easy to understand.
yeah.
Did you say it was,
someone-
15.
$15, yes.
Someone who's very good at communicating has written these. Well done. And same
Not
artist.
us, sorry.
Yeah,
That's
no,
for sure.
not us.
Yeah, Steve Gavin did all of the range.
Yep. And I don't want to put you on the... Oh, there you go. I don't want to put you on the spot, HUD. The zero carbon, what's the deal with that?
What's the deal?
Because it's sustainable. They're a sustainable company. I think it's got on the can. It says something about that. Or it doesn't give you enough info. That's
Business
probably,
Operation C, this page. I can go to that.
yeah, only because I'm just interested because that's something that the kids are interested in.
I'll
these
get
days,
out of
as
the
am I.
Snosberry tab.
Yeah, see, that's pretty interesting, isn't it?
Don't go to Google Images.
No, yeah, God. Probably have to read more into that to see because it's like okay, so how did everyone come to that conclusion? But anyway, more on that later.
On our Snosberry podcast.
Yes, that's Snozcast.
All right. That's a good amount of information that I can read.
Yes.
Oh, no, there's more.
Too much information.
Sustainability. Our ultimate goal at Garage Project has always been to build a business where we don't just brew beer, but also look after our employees, engage with the community, throw our support behind people trying to do cool things, and try to minimise our environmental impact. The brewing industry has a significant impact on the environment for several reasons. As a manufacturing process, it requires considerable use of natural resources like water and energy. The transport of raw materials and finished goods presents a challenge for finding efficiencies and opportunities to reduce the carbon footprint. Waste is produced throughout the brewing process and at the end of our product's use. Full stop. Sorry, I read that poorly.
It's all right.
We like to view sustainability at Garage Project as 3 pillars: community, people, and the environment. So the community and people goes without saying.
Yep.
Environmental impact. So they've achieved zero carbon business operations certification for the 2019 and 2020 calendar years through ECOS. This means Garage Project's carbon emissions from business operations are 100% offset through the purchase of certified carbon credits from native reforestation and protection projects.
Yeah, right. Cool. That's interesting. I know a few breweries are sort of heading in that direction as well. I know Capital's got some sort of certification to do with that, which we'll look more into later on.
It's cool. Because like craft beer is very new and it appeals to a more recent the generation, like a more recent generation of people. The people that care about craft beer also care about the future of the planet.
Yeah, it does seem that way.
That's what I'm trying to say.
If you look at the older crowd that do enjoy craft beer as well, generally it's free-thinking people that enjoy trying something new, and a lot of free-thinking people are generally ones that do care about the environment.
Yeah.
Anyway, very good. Thanks for doing that off the cuff.
There's some more information if you wish to read up, Simon.
Yes.
garageproject.co.nz/sustainability.
Yep, and I believe they have that on all their cans, so that's very good.
Little stamp of zero carbon approval.
Yeah,
It's the
very
most
good.
unique porter I've ever had.
Yep.
Really, really enjoy it.
Yep.
I've given it a solid 4 on Untapped.
Yep.
Oh, I've gone a 4.25.
Ooh. I'm going to finish mine. I might change mine.
The milk sugar's pretty out there. Like it's there.
I've given
Yeah,
it
I
a
can see
slightly
that.
higher value rating than the other beers. I think that's because I would generally have this as my final beer as a dessert beer. So I'm sort of happy just to do the one-off cost for that and now tasting it and enjoying it.
Well, that's why we've spoken about this a couple of times. The value one gets a bit skewed because it's not necessarily money versus. Like, I don't think there is exactly a. There would be a formula, but it's also, I really like this, so I'll just pay more.
Without adding the human variable, there is a formula.
Yes,
It's like
yes.
dollar versus ABV versus
Enjoyment.
can size. No, you remove any of it. Like, just have tangible variables like price, ABV, size of can.
Yep.
But then obviously that completely removes the human element, like you said, which is taste, situation, all that kind of stuff.
How many beers you had beforehand?
I actually owe Zach an apology. Breaking news.
Whoa.
Garage Project do have their facility in Melbourne, but this range was actually brewed in New Zealand, so they are imported. So the Way of Tea and the Rosie Lee are both brewed in the Aro Street Brewery in Wellington, and the Fuda aged sour beer, the Cafe Fizz, was brewed on Marion Street in Wellington.
Okay, there you go. I wonder if it's sort of like I was going to say Garage Project. That's who we're talking about. Mountain Culture, like all the experimental ones, still come out
Stay in
of
Katoomba.
So for Garage Project, they come out of New Zealand, and the just the
So I
standard
wonder,
ones,
like
maybe the core ones might be done here.
The Pan Pacific, all that.
Pernicious weed.
Pernicious
Whoa,
weed.
we're apologising to me. Can we,
Sign, can you?
can we get one on the record that the New Bridge Road brewery is just opened?
So I was thinking about this because it's funny because we were both.
I had a listener of the
we were
pod
all
message me and
right.
say you deserve an apology. I was like,
No,
okay.
no, because we were all correct.
in one way or another. But
Because we were correct in saying that there is already a Bridge Road
Was that
facility
their
at Brunswick
cardboard setup?
East, yes, which only just closed. So at the time of recording that pod, it was still a thing. And then you were also correct in saying that they're opening a venue in Brunswick East also. So I don't think any apologies are owed for that one.
I will say sorry because I was thinking of I didn't know about the other one. So
Should
that's
we
good.
make sure we update our wheels and then go down to Brunswick to the new Bridge Road and Co-Conspirators?
Are they in both in Brunswick? Are they?
Yeah.
I bet you there's
nice.
more too.
And there's been more, but yeah.
Also, I'd like to point out Co-Conspirators, the artist. So Pocket Beagles or whatever who do some artwork for Bright did like AI versions, or they did like what they would look like in humans of the characters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which was really cool.
That's-
So
that's
check that out.
interesting.
So
Yeah,
that
I'll
was
check
on
that out.
Co-Conspirators
And
Instagram, and they're pretty
Popped
cool.
up again
Hey,
during the week. Clint Weaver, the artist. There was another one, I think, in our group chat. That we
well,
were talking
that was a Bright beer, wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, he's done the artwork for that as well. So
Yeah, no,
No,
good
it's
on you.
very cool.
Good
Nice
on
one,
you, buddy.
Clint.
Anything else, boys?
Yep, to close off, I have some numbers.
Okay, all right.
So everyone's first and most recent Garage Project beer. And when I say that, I mean their first reviewed and their latest reviewed.
I was going to say I don't
Now
remember. being asked these
my
questions.
reviewing on Untapped has disappeared for the last 2 years, so it's not very up to date. But anyway, Simo's first. Do you remember it? Out of
Pernicious
interest. No, it may have been.
Yeah, that's all right.
Your
Whatever.
first reviewed was Unconditional Love West Coast IPA.
Okay.
7.5%, sorry. 7.5. First released in August 2017. You reviewed it in August 2020. You gave it 4 out of 5.
Okay.
And the review was Dece, full stop.
Yeah, well, that's definitely.
Do you remember what you reviewed most recently?
I wonder if it's a Surrender to the Void stout.
It is not.
Whoa.
It is the Super Fresh Hazy Double IPA.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
10%, first released in August 2019, reviewed in July 2023. So
you love
two
it.
2 months
That are out
ago.
of date. That's good.
No, but they rebrewed.
No, I know, but then the joke's not funny.
Simo gave it 4.75 out of 5. And the review was, in
Nice.
all caps, thick.
Yeah.
With 2 C's.
Yeah, that was
yeah,
very
the
good.
extra C for the thickness.
Yeah, so that one was actually going to be a pod beer, but I don't know, something happened.
I know what happened.
What? I forgot something, or is
No,
something-
you're the guy that shows, like, did you bring the cake? And you're like, oh, something happened to it. And there's like chocolate frosting around it. That's you.
That's good. That's
Gratzy,
good.
do you remember your first reviewed Garage Project beer?
I remember the first one I had was one that I bought from Beer Deluxe Aubrey, and I think I come back to this a fair bit. I don't think it said on the can what style of beer it was, and I didn't know what I was
Yes, you're correct. Do you think it's a collab beer that they did as part of the Happy Sessions?
getting. I think it was a happy session.
It is.
For sure.
It is the Rawaka Express Hoppy Pilsner, the Happy Sessions Volume 2 that they collabed with Firestone Walker on. 5.3% reviewed in January 2020. You gave it 3.75 out of 5 and left no review.
I would give that a higher rating if I had it now.
Do you remember the latest beer that you reviewed by them in November 2022?
No, I was going to say I thought it might have been the Hazy Days from New Year's Eve, but it won't be because that was November.
Yeah, so it is the Nope Rope Unfiltered IPA at 7.6%. First released in June 2021. You had it in November 2022. Speaking of out of date, you gave it a 3.75 out of 5 also with no review.
I underrate Garage Project.
Apparently.
What am I doing?
So my first, the Pan Pacific Amber Ale. 6%. First released in April 2013. I had it in June 2019. Now, that is a core range, so hopefully I would suggest it was rebrewed. I gave it 3.75 out of 5 as well. No review.
What the
We
heck?
need to start doing this a bit more.
My latest, Double Fuck Yeah 2022. 9.2%. First release in January 2022, reviewed in April 2022. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 with no review.
I thought you might have looked at our highest rating. Maybe we can do that for future.
Everyone's highest rated Garage Project
Oh,
beers.
here we go. All right.
Sime, what do you reckon?
Oh, I reckon it was probably their birthday beer.
Oh, you would be spot on.
Yeah.
although 11th anniversary dessert stout.
Yeah, it was.
What do you reckon you gave it, knowing your history?
Surely a 5.
You did. You gave it a 5.
And that. I don't give out 5s very often. It was delicious.
Now, mine was the Super Fresh Volume 3, the Sunrise Valley. Stop looking.
No, I'm not looking.
The Yakima Valley and the Fuck Yeah 2021
Yep.
all got a 5 from me.
Yep.
Now, Zach, do you remember yours? There's 2. I remember the first time you had the second one. We were all together.
Is it a double pernicious weed?
It is not.
Oh, I was going to say it would be one of the hazy days or a double pernicious weed.
Hazy Days number 4, the Amarillo and Mosaic variety, and the Lupus the Wolfman.
Yeah, I was going to say, if no one mentioned the Wolfman, we had to, because that was the best art.
We had that in Aries Inlet.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
And you gave both a 4.75 out of 5. You have never given a Garage Project beer a 5.
I'm getting
You heard
back
it
on
here
Untapped.
first.
I'm getting back on Untapped. No, we do.
We're really slack on Untapped. We do need to bring it back.
We could go back through the pod and actually review them.
I'm going to try and set up like a communal feed where our 3 scores feed onto the website.
Oh, yeah?
And then it has all the beers outside of the pod as well that we drink. So we just need to get back on Untapped and review the beers.
Well,
and notify all the listeners that Hudson drinks way too much beer.
Yeah, I'm not too bad because I just keep the cans until such time in which they're reviewed. And Marcella's awesome with it. She'll, like, if I'll have a status quo, she knows it doesn't go on the counter. She knows, he's had
I've had that one.
Yeah, I've had that one. She recognises, haven't you had this one? And sometimes she remembers better than me. So who's keeping tabs? I don't know. Hey.
What was everyone's favourite beer of the day? Are you going to do all the scores, Hudson, or would you?
Nah. I haven't typed them up.
But I was just having a quick look at it. I think from our rating system, I think it might be beer 3. That was my favourite of the day.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
that was
definitely.
Based on scores, mine was the Way of Tea.
I think the first one was my favourite. I don't know whether it adds up. It's probably equal with something else, but I like the first one.
Favourite beer was the sour though. The actual just based on the beer itself, favourite one was the sour. Through our rating system. I think
gotcha.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. All right.
That's a couple of international.
Yeah, no, pretty exciting. Garage Project.
Water barrels
awesome.
go international.
Absolutely. We'd like to do that pretty soon. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all we ask for from Garage Project is business class seats.
Yes.
A full tour.
The flat ones, not the big lounge chair ones. They got to lay flat.
Yeah. Like, I have no interest in any angles unless it's 180 degrees.
In all seriousness, I would stand up. If that was
not too long a flight.
Yeah, if someone's like, we'll fly you here, it's like, don't worry about a seat. I'll just sit in the aisle.
Yeah, you're in the cargo hold.
Yeah, like I don't mind.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, another cool brewery. Got plenty coming soon. Lovely day outside. NFL on, or I don't know if it's college.
College football.
Okay, sorry.
College football's always
college.
Before we
football.
finish,
Yep.
talk about college sport. Hudson, you must be across this. Is it true that a college game of volleyball got 91,000 spectators?
That is true.
That
I
is
believe
insanity.
It's Nebraska women's volleyball.
Insanity.
91,000, and it was crazy.
Some backstory.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't get volleyball, so for me it would have been a tough watch. That one hit. Oh, she hit it. Oh, did it go over? I can't see from back here because there's too many people.
Yeah.
I had a theory.
Imagine watching tennis with 91,000.
Yeah.
Like,
Quiet, please.
are they hitting? I can't see a ball.
I think you know how we came out of COVID and no one wanted to go to things. I think now everyone's like, no, we really want to go to things.
Yeah,
and
I want to see
everyone's just going
volleyball.
to things.
I want to see volleyball before it happens again.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It happens again.
That's it. All done. No more bets. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you soon.